Okay. Happy Tuesday. Welcome, friends. Welcome to week number 2. As I'm sure you all guessed, the focus is protein this week. Seeing as that's usually the kind of macro that we struggle with the most, I wanted to kind of tackle it early on in the challenge. So that's what we're going to be talking about. There is a lot that I want to chat through in regards to protein. I did just want to touch on really quick the nutrition badges, because I was in the Facebook group this morning and I noticed that not a lot of people have posted about their nutrition badge. I did just put up a post about 10 minutes ago as a reminder to how you do the nutrition badge and how you collect your nutrition badge. Okay, so you can either just do up a post in the Facebook group, hashtag nutrition badge 1, and then talk about your learnings, your findings. I also reposted the nutrition badge for last week, and you can also comment in under that thread and talk about what you learned, kind of your findings, your discoveries. So in order to get your sticker for nutrition badge 1, please make sure you do that. It's just a good way to, like, again, figure out what we're kind of realizing as we go into week 2. Okay. As always, make note any questions that you have. I always give opportunity at the end of this call for you to do it. And then write anything down. I will post this recording. You can always go to it as reference in the future and re-listen. On top of the nutrition badge, I just want to talk really quickly about some takeaways in terms of macros and in terms of just getting into this challenge and finding our grounding. I want to remind you all that if you aren't hitting your macros, it's okay. All right. This is the whole point of the challenge. We have 6 whole weeks together to kind of learn and hone in on everything. The goal is to keep learning, keep paying attention, and keep trying new and different things. Okay. Reminder that also everyone is at a different starting point in terms of either doing this challenge for the second time, doing this challenge for the third time. Some of you do have knowledge in terms of tracking and that sort of thing. So just remember, you're not behind. You're not doing anything wrong if you aren't hitting your macros, or maybe you haven't even gotten around to start tracking it. I do know some of you aren't even tracking. So all of that is okay. Learn to ask for help. Use the Facebook group for any and all questions. I'm always in there. Sarah's always in there, and Emily's always in there. So we can always kind of help out with any questions. Okay. Like I mentioned, the goal for tracking for a minimum of 3 days was to discover patterns and areas of opportunity. Okay. Which is kind of what we're going to do this week. So just getting curious, just learning what you're already doing. Because a lot of the time, most of you probably realized, oh, like, I actually am getting a decent amount of protein, or wow, I'm not eating enough carbs at all, right? So just kind of these things are all great. Should you continue tracking is a question that I do get a lot. If the answer is like, if tracking is adding stress to your life, or if it's making you like, if it's challenging, if it's too much of a time commitment, if it's causing any negativity on your life, then I would say stop tracking. If it's something that you're finding really eye-opening and you're learning a lot, and maybe you're not doing it every day and it's creating great habits already, I would say definitely keep tracking, especially because the whole point of the macros is to be able to kind of hone in on them more, right? Like, the macros are the numbers that your body needs to fuel you for your goals and your age and your all of that kind of stuff. Okay. So I just wanted to touch on that before diving into protein. There's a couple different slides on protein. I'm going to talk about what protein is. I'm going to talk about why it's important. I'm going to talk about protein supplementation. I'm going to give you some epic protein hacks, just small ways that you can add more protein into your week, which is going to be great. I'm going to get a little sciencey just to start off. So bear with me for like 2 minutes. Okay. So what is protein? Protein is made up of amino acids, okay, which are actually responsible for basically everything from our body structure to our hormones and our antibodies and all that kind of stuff. So protein is obviously, from that one sentence, very, very important for the human body. Okay. Because of these amino acids, dietary protein is very, very important. Our bodies can make certain amino acids, but without a diet where we get essential amino acids, which are the ones that our bodies cannot make by themselves, we would cease to function, aka we would cease to be alive. So let that be your takeaway for today. Carbs and fat are well maintained in the body. Your body holds on to them. Your body uses carbs for energy. Your body uses fat for long-term energy. Protein is not stored or held very well. So if we aren't giving our body a constant supply of it, we can go into a negative protein balance. So hence why it's good to make sure with every meal, even those snacks, that you're giving yourself and you're giving your body protein. Okay. That's the sciencey part for today. Okay. Now I want to chat about why protein's important. I honed in on a few of these points last week. Obviously, we know, and I'm sure you'll all notice more this week now that the goal is to focus on your protein, is you're going to feel full. Okay, that is what protein does, especially in the beginning stages where you are increasing your protein intake. Your body kind of goes through this adjustment period where it's not used to it. You might feel more bloated. You might feel way fuller. You might even feel a little bit of discomfort. I promise that will go away. It's just your body kind of being like, WTF is happening. What do I do with this stuff? The more you do it, your body is going to utilize it more in your muscles and your hormone regulation and all that kind of stuff. It also is very helpful for curbing cravings. I know a lot of you, when I did the consults, when we did the scans, you talked about, the late night snacking or just the snacking in general. So maybe pay attention to that. Notice how when you increase your protein, what happens to those cravings, okay? Hormone regulation, we've talked about digesting your food better. Okay, I did put a couple of fun facts in this slide here, that about half of the protein you eat goes into making enzymes that help break your food down. Okay, which is a pretty cool fact. You can all read through the rest of it here. I do like to point out that your hair and nails are mostly made up of protein. Okay, which is where like the collagen supplementation kind of comes into play, because collagen is protein. Yeah, muscle recovery, muscle building, strength. There is a couple of myths that I put in the bottom of this slide that I will talk about really quickly, because there is a couple of myths regarding protein that I like to nip in the bud right away. One of the main ones that you hear is protein is harmful for your kidneys. Okay. This is relevant for people with pre-existing kidney disease. Okay, so restricting protein can benefit people with that disease. However, there is no relevance to people with healthy kidneys in terms of that myth. Okay, myth number 2, too much protein is harmful for your liver. There's actually no evidence in this. There's no evidence that protein causes damage. The liver actually needs protein to repair itself. So those are my myth fact busters for you all today. Okay. Couple of questions that maybe you I have had in the past that I like to put in here and just tackle right away to put you all at ease. Question number 1, why is my protein recommendation so high? Which I know some of you have noticed. And that centers around your goals. Okay. Most of us had goals centering around body composition, like fat loss reduction, muscle gain, that sort of thing. So that's where you would increase the protein intake. Number 2, as we all know, because we all go to Crush Camp, you are active. You are an active individual. And because you are active, your body needs more protein because it burns it off faster. Okay. Also, as we age, it's easier for our bodies not to hold on to muscle. That's usually where we lose it first. So preventing premature muscle loss. Okay. If you continue to, what if I continue to struggle hitting my protein target? Okay. As always, we're in week 2, we have 6 weeks. So hopefully by the end of it, you're kind of honing in on your protein intake a little bit more, but I want to remind you not to stress out. Okay. I don't want you losing sleep over the fact that your protein target is 140 and you're not hitting 100 yet. Okay. make the first goal to hit 100 grams of protein consistently for a little bit. Once you can consistently hit 100 grams of protein, it gets easier to increase it from there. Okay. Remember, this is not going to happen overnight. The whole point of this is it takes thought and it takes planning. Okay. A lot of people ask me, if it comes the end of the night and you haven't hit your protein target, should you be basically forcing yourself to eat? No. Okay. Your body has a great way of telling you when you're full and when you're hungry and when you're thirsty. So listen to your body before you do that. Okay. Like I said, for the next couple of weeks, it might be challenging to hit that protein intake. And that's because your body's adjusting. So just kind of move with the ebbs and the flows. Okay. My recommendations come from math and science. Okay. That's how I came up with your calculations, but they are still recommendations. Okay. So tying into what I just said, listen to your body. Okay. That's what I'm going to say in terms of that. We're coming to some protein hacks. I find it helpful to either write these down or screenshot this, because I'm sure at least I hope that you'll take a couple of these out. I will kind of come to you, especially those of you doing this challenge for the second or third time. If I haven't put anything on here that you have found helpful, we'll throw it in the chat box just for some other amazing hacks, because I tried to think of some of them, but I don't have all of them. Greek yogurt was what I think all of us really found helpful from the last challenge. Greek yogurt is fantastic. Also, like if you eat dairy, obviously, there is lactose-free Greek yogurt, which is dairy-free and still very high in protein, I will say. You can use Greek yogurt in substitute for sour cream, in substitute for mayonnaise. It's great for marinades. It's great for dressings. It's great to mix protein powder in with. So Greek yogurt is a great addition if you eat dairy. Okay. Sourdough, fun fact for all of my bread lovers out there, sourdough is very, very high in protein. Sourdough is also actually one of the best breads that you can consume because it's very low in sugar. It's also really delicious. Mixing eggs and egg whites is something that I do every single day. If you all saw my fridge, I probably have about 12 cartons of egg whites in there right now, and I'm not joking. It's helpful just to get more protein, okay? Especially because obviously we know eggs have fat. It is the good fat. I'm not telling you that you should not be having the fat from eggs because it's fantastic, but having multiple eggs will also increase your fat intake. So it just kind of helps keep the balance. Collagen. Fun fact, I just started on the collagen train because you can get up to 10 grams of protein, which is fantastic. It's an easy addition into your diet. I know a lot of people that mix it in their coffee. I do a shot of greens in the morning. So I've just started adding it to my shot of greens. You can also put it in your smoothies. Fantastic addition. Lattes for my coffee drinkers out there. Lattes, you can get between 10 and 13 grams of protein from. So that's fantastic. Things you might not think of. Oats, very high in protein. Nutritional yeast is also something that I've recently started because there's 16 grams of protein in half a cup. My obsession right now is making Buddha bowls, and the Buddha bowl dressing, I put nutritional yeast in. So it's a great way to add more protein. Protein pancakes also, one of my life hacks that I've been doing for a very long time is mixing hummus and tzatziki. It makes a fantastic dip for like veggies. I also use it in salads if you're making like a Greek salad. Just another great way. Okay. I've posted the protein cheat sheet in the Facebook group. I think it's also linked in the email that I sent you all out yesterday. An epic list for you to reference as well. Okay. If you have any other ideas or ways to add protein that you find helpful, I'm going to tell you to put it in the chat box now within the next couple minutes, and we'll chat through it when I get through our last topic here, okay, which is protein supplementation. I want to chat about it really quick. A lot of the times I get asked if adding protein supplementation is allowed and or safe, healthy, all that kind of stuff in order to help you hit your targets. The short answer is yes, of course it is. The long answer is there's nothing wrong with adding a protein bar or a protein shake or something in that regard to your diet. What I will challenge you is to pay attention when you are noticing that it's starting to take away from the other nutrients in your diet, where, you know, maybe you're having 1 to 2 protein shakes a day and you're not getting it from food. Okay. So having 20 to 3 grams of protein come from supplementation is not a bad thing. I just challenge you all to pay attention because, you know, this is all about, you know, eating our protein as well. So that is what I will say about that. Last but not least, for supplementation, how to pick a protein powder. I just wanted to add this in because I know a lot of you can't have whey protein. Also note that this is normal. So I'm just going to talk about a couple different proteins as you'll see in this slide. Okay, so obviously whey protein is the most commonly used. It is best for day to day, easily digested, and contains all of the essential amino acids that you need. But for a lot of people, we are allergic to whey protein, okay? You will know if you're kind of allergic to whey protein. If you take it, you pretty much immediately get super bloated or you get super uncomfortable. If you're new to whey protein, give it a couple of weeks, space out eating your protein powder for a few days. It should go away. If it doesn't go away, that usually means that your body just doesn't like it and that you should try a different protein powder. Okay. Other ones that we'll talk about, soy protein is a very common choice. It also helps reduce high cholesterol and can ease symptoms of menopause for women, which is amazing. Moving on. Egg protein is released more slowly than whey. So it's helpful for supplementing you for longer periods throughout the day. If you're going to go a long chunk without potentially getting food, egg protein is really great because it's slow released in the body. Okay. Milk protein, obviously great for enhancing muscle growth and immune function. Brown rice protein powder is 100% plant-based for all of my plant-based people. Solid choice for vegetarians or people who don't consume dairy. Okay. I like to give it as an other option other than vegan protein powder because I'd like to say that they're getting better with vegan protein powder. Canadian Protein makes a good vegan protein powder. If you're wondering, that's the stuff that we use at Crush Camp. But brown rice is really great. It's also gluten-free. Then there's pea protein, which is highly digestible in the body, which is always a good thing. It's also hypoallergenic and great for the environment, which we love. Hemp protein, also 100% plant-based, good source of omega-3, okay? Talking about Canadian Protein, they're also great because you can go on their website and get sample packs. So if you're not a whey protein fan, or if you're still kind of searching for the right kind of protein powder, you can get sample packs. And they're like $1 or $2 and they'll ship them to you and you can try them out. So that's always great. That's it. That's all I got. So I'm just going to head over to the chat box, give you all a second if you have any questions. Megan heard protein shake in coffee instead. Oh yeah. Oh, Megan, this is great. So what Megan does is she takes her whey protein, she mixes it up in a shaker bottle and then uses that as creamer instead of creamer, which is great. Also, especially considering collagen doesn't usually taste like anything, is my understanding. I think there are flavored collagen powders, but this is a great way to add protein to your coffee. That's all I got. That's the only thing that's in there. So does anybody have any questions at all? Hit me up. Now is the time. Jesse Newton, anyone have any favorite whey protein? Where did you get it? Jesse, I'll tell you mine and then people can also add in theirs. It's like I work for Canadian Protein. I should really get kickback for this. No, I'm just kidding. I like Canadian Protein because they have a cappuccino flavor whey protein and it tastes like a Tim Hortons ice cap. It's delightful. They also have a ton of other flavors. Other kinds that I've tried that I really like that you can get from like Supplement King or Popeyes is what is it called? Oh my gosh, I can't even think of it. It's like Isomax, I think. Costco, really great protein powders, pretty cheap. They're really popular, so sometimes they don't have them in stock, but Costco has great protein powders that are really affordable.
I have Costco's collagen. Do I actually need another protein powder if I have their collagen protein?
Like the difference between collagen protein and other protein is collagen has the least amount. So yeah, collagen like per like scoop or two is anywhere between 5 and 10 grams, whereas per like a whey protein, you're getting like double or triple that.
Nice. Yeah. So yeah, it's worth it.
Totally. Totally, in my opinion. Emily, okay, yeah, Marinka said Canadian protein. Emily said, oh yeah, the Kaizen one from Superstore or Safeway is also fine. Totally great. I've also had the Kaizen vanilla. Emily says works great with everything. Jennifer, collagen and yeast recommendations. Oh, you mean nutritional yeast, Jennifer? Yes. I was like, yeast. I think there's only one kind of nutritional yeast, is my understanding. You usually get it from the specialty aisle in grocery stores. I think you can also get it from Bulk Barn. Jesse, I found it at Safeway. Yeah. I actually just bought some yesterday. I found it in Superstore next to Crush Camp. Collagen, I honestly don't think it matters in terms of collagen, Jen, because it doesn't taste like anything. I don't really think there's a difference. You can get, I just ordered from Amazon the organic brand. I know people that use Vital Protein brand. Yeah, I don't think it really matters. Kate, you can get nutritional yeast by the gram at Community. Oh, Community Natural Foods. You can get it by the gram. That's awesome.
I'll say too, for anybody who's like specifically knows their whey intolerant or is trying out different proteins, if you go to Herc's, is on 16th Ave, 17th Ave, right next to West Elm and Good Life in like that little Mount Royal village. They like sample things, so you can just get like a scoop of something and test them all out, because they have pretty much everything under the sun. But if you know you're good with whey and dairy and you're just like, let's get started, honestly, like these ones that you just get, like vanilla whey from Safeway Superstore, they're all very similar. Like you're not going to don't overthink it. Just buy the smaller capsule. They're usually not very expensive there. It's like $25 or something. And don't overthink that. And same thing with collagen. Like it's all pretty much the same thing. It just gets into the differences when especially if you're doing like the non-dairy, because then you have to see if you know that you have like digest a very sensitive stomach, then you definitely want to like test out the different types. But when it comes to whey, and I go vanilla because it works with berries, it works with peanut butter, it works with bananas, it works in coffee. You can kind of use it with anything. So if you're just starting out, like, what can I just do that's easy? Just get a small vanilla from the grocery store and give it a shot.
I love this. Thanks, Emily. 100%. Anybody else have any questions? Type them, hop yourself off mute, whatever's easiest. Wow, nothing. I love this.
So is there any like danger if you like add too much protein? Like if you take like the Greek yogurt with extra protein, you put a protein shot in it, you put some nutritional yeast in your smoothie. Can you have too much protein in one drink? Like, or one like meal?
So I will say, so nutritional yeast is cheese.
Yeah.
It's a cheese flake. So I don't know if you would put that in a smoothie, but it is nutritional yeast is still considered food. It's not like nutritional yeast is not a supplement. It's a food that a lot of like vegetarians and stuff add for protein. I say try not to go more than 2 scoops a day in terms of like supplementation. But technically there's no science or anything based on too much. Again, like I mentioned in a couple slides, just be weary of doing more supplementation than actually like nutritional whole foods and that sort of thing. Okay. Okay, friends, I'm going to leave it at that. If you have any questions, I'm going to post this recording in the Facebook group in the next like 10 minutes. So thread below there. As always, tag me, tag Emily, tag Sarah in the Facebook group for any questions that you do have. It's also really helpful because sometimes other people have the answers or have suggestions. Okay. And then if you haven't done your nutrition badge 1 yet, hop on the Facebook group, thread it in the badge or make a post and hashtag it nutrition badge 1. And that's it. That's all. Good luck this week, friends, with honing in on that protein. Next week, we're going to tie in the rest of it. We're going to talk about carbs, fat, and calories. Okay, so have yourself a fantastic week, friends. I'll talk to you all later.